Hey everyone, in this video we will be discussing the solution to the problem Jane's number sequence. Let's go through the problem statement. Jane is interested in the study of numbers. Every time someone gives her a number, she tries to create interesting sequences. This time she has a positive integer z in her mind. Consider a pair of two positive integers u and v such that both are not more than z. For a pair of numbers u, v, the given condition should hold. The last digit of the first number is equal to the first digit of the second number, and the first digit of the first number is equal to the last digit of the second number. We have to note that u, v is considered different from v, u. The input in this question will consist of just one number, that is z, and an output, the number of possible pairs should be printed. For example, if the input is 25, we will be considering all numbers from 1 to 25 for our pairs. In this case, 17 pairs that satisfy the required condition can be found. For example, 12 and 21, or say 2 and 22. For a single digit number, the first digit and the last digit is same as the number itself, like we can see. We will see the logic to solve this problem now. We only need to find the number of pairs, so what we can do is, we can iterate over every number starting from 1 to z, and we can find out what the first digit and last digit is for each of these numbers. Then, we can form a grid using this information, because every number will have its first digit and last digit in the range of 0 to 9 only. For example, in this case where our z is equal to 25, we will be going from the numbers starting from 1 to 25. Let's say we are talking of 1. In order to fill in the information in the grid, we can say the first digit of 1 and the last digit of 1 is 1. So in the grid we find the row 1 and column 1, and we increment the counter. Next we talk of 2. So for 2 the first digit is 2 and last digit is 2. So we find out that point and we increment the counter again. Similarly we can say for 3. Let's take some other example. Say we are talking about 11. For 11, again, first digit is equal to 1, last digit is equal to 1. So we can increment the counter here, and 1 changes to 2 this time. Let's say we are talking for 21, 2 and 1. We'll increment the counter over here. So similarly, we'll have to perform this operation for every number over here starting from 1 to z, that is 25 in this case. Let's take another example just so that this process is clear for a bigger number. So if the number was 72964, first digit is 7, last digit is 4. So we'll be incrementing the counter over here. Going back to our previous example, so now we would like to find out how many pairs are there such that the first digit of first number is equal to the last digit of second number and vice versa. So let's take the example of 12 and 21. These two will form a valid pair. We can deduce that every number of category 1, 2, which means which is starting from 1 and ending with 2, will form a pair with every number of the category 21, that is which starts with 2 and ends with 1. For example, we can see where u is 12 and v is 281. Again here we can see that the first digit of u is the same as last digit of v, and the first digit of v is same as the last digit of u. So these two form a valid pair. So if let's say there are n numbers of the type 12 and there are m numbers of type 21 in total, then all n numbers will pair with all the m numbers. So we will just multiply n and m to get all possible pairs of this type. The values of n and m for each valid case can be found from this grid that we will be creating. So if cell I, j gives us the value of n, then cell j, I will give us the value of m. So in order to find the product, we will multiply cell I, j with cell j, I. To get the final answer, we'll find the sum of all of these products. Let's run through the code now. Okay, so first we take in the value of z. Num and k are declared only to store some temporary values later on, which will help in calculations. Then we are declaring a vector of vectors in order to create a grid. This could have also been an array of array instead, both work fine. Initially, all the values in this grid will be set to 0 by default. So after this, we are running a for loop starting from 1 to z. And in this, we store the last or the rightmost digit of a number in R and the first or leftmost digit of a number in L. To find R, we are performing modulo operation with 10, and similarly for L, we are performing modulo operation with 10 but using while loop, because we are trying to find the first digit. Once we have found these values, we increment the counter in the grid by 1. So the code up till this point fills all the required values in the grid. Next, we are initializing the variable total to 0. In this, we will be storing our final answer. Finally, we go through the entire grid, computing all possible values of Ci of j multiplied with Cj of I. The sum of these is the required answer. Let's try running this code once. So as expected from the program, when we input the sample case, that is of 25, we get the output as 17. With this, we conclude our video on the solution for Jane's number sequence problem.